Hey guys, welcome to the SuperShow. I'm Chris.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Alex, and we are hella excited for Doom Eternal.
Oh yes, it's been 4 hot years since we were blessed, or rather damned, with the excellent Doom 2016.
I like what you did there, Chris. Very good.
It was my game. Oh, no. Maybe not.
It was my game of the year.
It was my game of the year that year.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, well, technically it was Uncharted 4, but the Doomslayer was my character of the year, okay? Satisfied, you fucker?
No, incorrect.
Well, we're gonna have to move on. It's a video.
We thought we'd take a look at what exactly makes a Doom game so goddamn special. But to do that, we need to go back, like way back.
It's so far back I wasn't even born yet. In fact, it was the summer of my conception for those who want to picture my parents fucking. So let me paint the picture for you. It's the summer of 1992, not long after the release of Wolfenstein 3D, and the young guns at id Software were sat down to discuss what was next. Because here's the thing, fellas, they may have just released the game that was still referred to nowadays as the grandfather of 3D shooters, but they were go-getters, right? They were a team of misfits already focused on pushing the envelope however they could.
But hold on, so the grandfather of 3D shooters, but back then, it was just the dude of 3D shooters, right?
Or like the pedo uncle. They were working to strike a balance between the ambitions of two of the company's founders, the two Johns as they're known, John Carmack and John Romero.
Do you think one of them didn't want to be called John and wanted to be called Johnny because the other one was called John?
Maybe? Anyway, these guys kind of represented two sides of the coin. Carmack, the programmer, wanted to make something that ran on his new, significantly faster engine.
Romero, on the other hand, the designer, wanted to make something darker than their previous efforts, a game about using technology to fight demons. As we all know, the game born out of this period of its history was Doom. It's not only one of the most famous first-person shooters of all time, but its development is also amongst the most discussed of any game ever. I mean, there's literally a book all about it. Go read it.
Masters of Doom?
No one reads anymore. It's 2020. Get it zapped into your ears. It's the only way to consume a book in 2020.
Right, well, let's leave the old archaeological stuff aside, because over 27 years later, Doom's impact on games can arguably be reduced down to a single quote. The answer John Romero gave when he was asked how he wanted Doom to differ from Wolfenstein 3D. He wanted it to be more brutal and fast. Fighting words that echo through the annals of video game history.
Yeah, I don't think that sounds right.
Well, annals of
Yeah.
No, Josie, it's like the history of video games, you know, the annals.
Yeah, the annals.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Look, Jonesy, basically, in designing the original Doom, John Romero actually created a formula for first-person shooter design that wouldn't age a day for the decades that followed. Doom should have become the Bible for first-person shooters. For a while, everything went ahead as expected. Doom clones flooded the market, id rushed to make sequels, the formula was everywhere, but then something strange happened, fellas. Somewhere along the way, people kind of forgot all about it. From Painkiller to Serious Sam, developers tried in earnest to keep the id spirit alive through various fast-paced, high-intensity shooters. But as the years rolled by, that style of game seemed to fall from grace. By the mid-noughties, even id themselves had set their sights on a different target, producing games like Rage and, to be fair, Doom 3 in their attempt to mature their products.
When development started on the game that began life as Doom 4, that audience was speaking louder and clearer than ever before. And I'll admit it, I was amongst them. At the time, it wanted accessible, military-focused shooters with a brownish-greyish colour palette and multiplayer with a dopamine-pumping reward loop. It wanted Call of Duty is kind of what I'm saying. Sure enough, the appeal was too hard to ignore, because beginning development through 2007 and 2008, it just couldn't turn a blind eye to Call of Duty's runaway money train, and so they tried their hand at it.
Remember that movie Money Train?
No?
Woody Harrelson and, was it Wesley Snipes? And Jennifer Lopez.
That sounds like the most straight-to-DVD-ass bullshit film I've ever heard of in my life. Anyway, it tried to make what the market was saying they wanted, and any guesses as to what they came out with?
Something very Call of Duty.
Lemmings.
Well, more Jonesy's proposal than yours, Chris, but it was kind of predictable. An accessible, military-focused shooter with a brownish-greyish colour palette and multiplayer with a dopamine-pumping reward loop. Kind of like Call of Duty.
They do say imitation is the best form of... I don't even know, I can't finish that.
Flattery?
You idiot.
Flattery, that's it.
But we don't have to worry about that. Do you know why?
Why, Jamie?
Why? What happened?
Because that game didn't come out. The not-so-lovingly nicknamed Call of Doom was cancelled, and current id employees still acknowledge just how close it came to being the company's biggest misfire, probably ever.
You say maybe its biggest misfire ever, but did you play Quake 4?
Oh, no, I did not. It was around the same time that John Carmack left id, and the team soon found themselves picking up the pieces. I mean, were they still nervous? Of course they fucking were. Regardless of the fate that the so-called Call of Doom suffered, Call of Duty and Battlefield were still the biggest FPS franchises on the planet, and at that time they were only getting getting bigger. They were worried they wouldn't be able to strike a chord with a younger audience, an audience that was less familiar with the original Doom games. But just like when Jonesy thinks he's lost his glasses, the solution was under their nose the whole time.
Or on my head, that happens too.
I think with Jonesy, it's actually, they were still on his face, like where glasses usually are, but then Jonesy was like, hey, guys, have you seen my glasses? I'm like, yeah, they're in your face, dude.
I just suddenly thought I could see again.
Coronavirus fixed my eyes. The solution was to give that so-called younger audience what they missed out on to begin with. Give them something brutal and fast. Give them Doom.
The Doom team began working on the game that would return the Doom franchise to the lofty heights that Doom was always meant to remain at. Doom. Or well, Doom 2016, I guess. Fuck, this is getting confusing. In the time since their last outing, the video game rulebook had changed. While the Slayer used to bop around E1M1 at almost 50 miles per hour, most modern protagonists didn't have the same spring in their step. Gamers were more used to dragging Marcus Phoenix's roided up arse over a slab of concrete than seeing a mute space marine double jumping around Mars, because why the fuck not? Put simply, with the state of most popular shooters at the time, Doom wasn't really going to fit in. The solution was simple: take the first-person shooter rulebook and take a chainsaw to it. Fuck regenerating health, fuck fake militaristic dialogue, fuck aim down sights, fuck subtlety of any kind. Make a game about a legendary demon killer rising from a sarcophagus so that he can rip and tear his way through the armies of hell. Why? Because it's fucking fun, that's why. Do you need a reason?
You just gave me the only reason I need.
In fact, fun was at the core of everything the team strived to do. Game director Marty Stratton said that was literally what they had to ask themselves at every turn: is this fun? Oh, and those other two words that acted as the backbone for the Doom philosophy? It turned out they were pretty well accounted for too.
Hell yeah.
Brutality and speed aren't just footnotes in Doom 2016. They define the entire gameplay experience. Through the clever layering of systems that limit your ability to hoard resources, id force you to push forward at every opportunity. And unlike Call of Duty or Battlefield, you're not going to recover health by finding a hiding spot and, tucking yourself away like a little pussy. No, it's not just that it didn't design cover into the game's levels, it's that if you decided to take cover, that you'd actually just fucking die. So don't do that. There's only one surefire way to save your bacon: a glory hole.
Well, no, not quite.
A kill, right?
Glory kill.
I think you're in a different genre there, mate.
Alright, listen, potato, fine. A glory kill. A quick-fire, brutal animation that sees the Doomslayer close the distance on his enemy before fucking them up in the most gnarly way imaginable. Okay, yes, it may sound counterintuitive, because, it sounds like the opposite of what some recent games have taught us, but you survive by pushing yourself further towards your enemy. And hey, that's the beauty of it, right? Just keep on going. Even the glory kills themselves were controversial additions. When they were first unveiled to fans, the reaction was largely negative. What if they take too long? What if they fuck with the flow? How long until they start to feel like they're repeating? These are all, legitimate concerns, and they are the reason why Doom's success isn't just measured by how damn good it is, but also how damn bad it could have been.
Where the best stuff comes, Chris, is when you're living on the edge.
You gotta take risks.
You gotta speculate to accumulate.
Living on a prayer. The truth is that glory kills, like damn near everything else in the game, just feels... Do you like the little chef kiss there?
Yeah.
This just became an ASMR video.
Decapitation after decapitation, spine snap after motherfucking spine snap. No animation outstayed its welcome, and no kill failed to warrant the reward. When it's combined with the Doom guy's ridiculous movement speed, the power of his arsenal, and his obscene maneuverability, it's like a gameplay speedball right into your bloodstream.
Yeah. Shout out to Overdoses. Well, what? Everything the original Doom stood for was perfectly represented. Speed and brutality out the fucking arse.
You should go see a doctor. You may have coronavirus of the arsehole.
That's why everyone's been buying up all the toilet roll.
That, in many ways, was the genius of Doom 2016. A reminder that, for as much as video game trends might shift over the years, certain truths always prevail.
I think you'll find that is the annals of history.
Oh, we've gone full circle. Did they get over their fears entirely? Well, no, not exactly. Doom 2016's multiplayer is evidence of the fact that some people at id, or Bethesda for that matter, had their concerns, but that's a note that kind of seems irrelevant now. They still managed to make the story of a generic mute marine one of the most engaging tales of recent years, in video games at least. Now, as we all get to sit down and bask in the glory of Doom Eternal, it seems more appropriate than ever to acknowledge their achievement. It's the best example of the perfect modernization of an old school philosophy, and it gave rise to one of the best first-person shooter campaigns in recent memory. I mean, fuck, by 2018, Call of Duty's campaigns were considered so redundant, they released a game without one. They didn't do one a few years ago. And while people have grown tired of their drab and bland monotony, Doom reminded us all that some ideas stand the test of time. That unsurprisingly, the same ideas that gave rise to an entire genre can still help a game redefine it over 27 years later. Brutal and fast.
But what do you guys think? Were we spot on? Are you looking forward to Doom Eternal? Let us know in the comments down below.
And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and shoot the bell in the face to never miss a video.
And with that, we're off to play Doom Eternal. So see you later.
See ya. See you later.